am in Auburn, Illinois, a small farming community south of Springfield, and this right here is Route 66, an original portion of the road that was never even paved over. It's made out of bricks. Now this here was decommissioned as Route 66 in 1930. There are a few routes of it, especially around Illinois. And the bricks were actually paved over after it was Route 66. But still here in the middle of cornfields is the original brick Route 66. It's 1.5 miles paved this way. And of course, as you can see, it is absolutely desolate. Most people who take Route 66 don't even know about this. Well, at least a few people seem to know about it. Now this is walking on history. You can see the bricks change color at this point. Not sure the reasoning for this. Gosh, this is so cool. I know I say this every time I'm on Route 66, but I'm telling you, one day it's gonna happen. Chicago straight to Santa Monica. And it's gonna be freaking awesome. Now let's actually head up to Springfield and see some more Route 66 sights and history. While I've now seen and done little bits and pieces of Route 66 recently, I still have the full 2,448 miles from Chicago to Santa Monica and all its classic roadside goodness ahead of me at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm now in downtown Springfield. There are several signs stating the historic 1926 to 1930 routing of Route 66 through the city. The route has been altered in Springfield a few times, but part of it used to be South 6th Street through downtown. There's a sign for the now demolished just off Route 66 sandwiches and souvenir shop. This old service station is a place called Route History. It seems interesting and I'm not sure if it's ever actually opened, as I'd never heard about it before. It's a store and foundation based on Route 66's black history. It's important to remember that it was extremely dangerous for black families to travel Route 66 because of the prevalence of Jim Crow segregation laws and culture throughout all of the Mother Road during its heyday. Despite this oppression, there were still many successful black business owners along Route 66. This is Mahans Gas Station. It was built in 1917 in Middletown, Illinois. But then it got moved and it was the centerpiece of Shia's Route 66 museum that was here in Springfield until the owner died in 2013, and it got moved again and placed here, so luckily it was saved, and you can still see it. So this is a really old gas station. Most of the iconic ones on 66 are usually a bit older than this one. You can peek through the window, see what the old museum was like. Here on on the Illinois State Fairgrounds. They have an amazing roadside attraction. This is the Railsplitter, a 30-foot tall statue of young Abraham Lincoln built in 1967. This is a really odd sculpture. The legs are built out of telephone poles. And yeah, it's actually a bit freaky. So there is the largest statue of Abraham Lincoln in his hometown of Springfield, Illinois. On the south side of Springfield is Charlie Parker's Diner, which is housed in a World War II era Quonset hut, creating a very unique ambiance. Inside the Quonset hut is some awesome retro decor. It does truly feel like a vintage diner. The diner opened up here in 1991 and Guy Fieri has visited. I really like this glass block bar counter. That poster is called The Boulevard of Broken Dreams. It's a classic nostalgic print based on Edward Hopper's Nighthawks, except the figures are Elvis, Marilyn, James Dean, and Humphrey Bogart. While this is not an original Route 66 fixture, it is a fantastic diner, the food is really good, and I'd highly recommend it. And here we have the Lauterbach Muffler Man, majestically wielding an American flag. This is so cool. He's been here since 1978, and a tornado once decapitated his head there, but as you can see he was repaired, and he's been overlooking a later segment of Route 66, one of the later realignments through town. But yeah, this is one of my favorite muffler men I've seen. This is pretty freaking cool. And now along Route 66 south of downtown Springfield, I am at a true classic, the Cozy Dog Drive-In. This is one of those must-do restaurant stops, which I am cheating on a little bit since I'm here in Springfield, but I probably will return when I do my grand Route 66 trip at some point. This is one of the most iconic Route 66 eateries because it is home of the Cozy Dog. So they have lots of Cozy Dog theming, like this painted wiener couple in the cement. Yeah, this place is gonna be a bit weird. Aligning the upper wall is a painted map of Route 66, possibly done by Bob Waldomire, and it's really cool. The Cozy Dog was invented by Ed Waldomire Jr., who as a young man had a battered corn dog in Oklahoma, which he thought was really good. However, their version took way too long to make. A few years later, he and a friend invented a much better method while stationed at the Air Force Base in Amarillo, Texas. He started selling Cozy Dogs, which is basically a battered up hot dog wiener, and they became very popular and sold like hotcakes. Ed returned to his hometown of Springfield in 1946, and he and his wife, Virginia, named them Cozy Dogs. They sold them at the Illinois State Fair that year, which gained a lot of traction. Then he had various Cozy Dog stands throughout the 50s and 60s here in Springfield. The Cozy Dog Drive-In only opened in 1996 in this vintage building, where it has become a Route 66 revival staple. The food here is very cheap, and I did try the Cozy Dog. I am not at all a fan of hot dogs, and I really didn't like the Cozy Dog. I sat right next to the Bob Waldomire Memorial Library. Waldomire was the son of Ed and Virginia, and he ended up becoming a traveling Route 66 artist. This bookcase contains some of his books and mementos, which are really cool to see. He passed away in 2009, but he spent decades traveling up and down the road in his converted van or school bus, and he did all sorts of Route 66 promotions. He also saved the Hackberry General Store in Arizona, and it says this bookcase is supposed to be going there for display soon. Bob Waldomire can largely be accredited for the Route 66 renaissance that has increased interest and saved so many landmarks. So it's really awesome to see some of his original articles. Waldmire's 1972 Volkswagen bus was actually the inspiration for Fillmore in the Cars movie. Here's an illustration he did for the 1976 bicentennial for a Springfield newspaper. It doesn't seem like the place has changed all that much in the almost 25 years they've been here, and it's jam-packed with all sorts of memorabilia and artifacts. Ed sold the Cozy Dogs for quite a while out of a nearby Route 66 Dairy Queen, which was located a little north of here. Here's some classic Cozy Dog and Route 66 memorabilia. There's the original menu sign, and I think that's the funeral flag of Ed Waldomire Jr., the Cozy Dog founder who was also an Air Force veteran. This is a display showing the evolution of the patented Cozy Dog food handler. That is Bob Waldmire's Steinbeck Award. In John Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath, Route 66 plays a major role in the plot and setting. This back corner is called the Route 66 Museum. And they have some Mother Road brochures, as well as an old gas pump. Here's the Route 66 bulletin board. They sell some illustrated Route 66 postcards by Bob Waldomire. While the food is not the best here, I love this establishment, and the Cozy Dog Drive-In is a fantastic Mother Road fixture and is unquestionably worth a visit. In downtown Springfield along the 1926 route is the oldest restaurant on Route 66, Maldaner's. It actually long predates the Mother Road, being established in 1884. It's a pretty fanciful place, definitely more so than the Cozy Dog and many other classic restaurants and drive-ins on the road. It's long been a high-end Italian restaurant. They do claim that Al Capone ate here at times, if that tells you anything. The interior has some cool decorative elements like painted motifs. It's more of a contemporary place now, but my burger here was very good. The original route passes right by the old state capitol, which Abraham Lincoln has connections to in various capacities, and I have a separate video on that building, as well as the other Lincoln sites here in Springfield. Speaking of Lincoln, I've now driven 35 miles northeast to a town called Lincoln, Illinois, to see another iconic Route 66 roadside attraction, the Railsplitter Covered Wagon. That right there is actually the world's largest covered wagon, which currently does not have a canvas on it, and the large figure of Abraham Lincoln is riding on the front, reading a law book as he usually did. While it seems very old school, this is actually a newer attraction, created in 2001 for the 75th anniversary of the historic highway. The Lincoln statue is 12 feet tall and is made of fiberglass. I will mention that this town was named for Abraham Lincoln before he was president, and this is because he visited this town regularly on the circuit court and also helped plat the town, and the people in the new town liked him so much they named it after him in 1853. A little north of the covered wagon is this old neon sign for the Tropics dining room. The restaurant was demolished and the neon sign went out in 2004, and after being abandoned for a decade, the sign was fully restored in 2018 and is now placed back in its original location. And it looks great when it's all lit up at night. Please check out my other Route 66 in Springfield videos, and thanks for watching.